So, the Terrifier films are oftentimes the most controversial slasher films to date, not only for the depravity of its character Art the Clown, but also the sick and intense gore that are within these films. But I will say, Art the Clown is probably my absolute favorite slasher in the most modern day horror films, and for many variety of reasons. And we're going to discuss those reasons in this video. And since it's Halloween, I figured this is the perfect time to talk about my favorite slasher, Art the Clown. Comment below your favorite slasher down below in the comment section. I know there's many out there that you guys might like. Freddy Krueger, Jason, Chucky, Michael Myers, you name it. So, why is the character of Art the Clown so scary? Well, it really comes down to the overall unpredictability of his character and the brutality that comes with his unpredictable nature. Art the Clown is oftentimes very unpredictable with how he is in certain situations. From one moment, he may very well be a silly clown that is having very funny moments. But then the next moment, he can switch just like that and absolutely execute everybody in the room in absolutely horrific fashion.
Reese Jackson!
Reese Jackson.
Cheers! What the fuck is the matter with you?
Can't take a fucking hint, King. I'm not gonna tell you again.
His design is already creepy enough and already unsettles you, but when he kind of does some silly things, it almost makes you drop your guard. But then immediately after that, he follows it up with slashing everybody in the room, and it's very unpredictable. Especially since sometimes he'll even do some really horrific things to characters in these movies, and the next minute he just walks by everybody else and you're expecting him to take them out as well, but he doesn't, and it really makes you feel like he's very unpredictable at most times. The first Terrifier movie is a very basic slasher film. Two girls are drugged and brought into a warehouse where they have to escape Art the Clown, leaving a final girl to face off with Art the Clown in a showdown. And the way that the first film broke down Art the Clown really showed how much of an intense slasher he is and how much he is an exception to the rule. Most of the time in these slasher films, there's always going to be a final girl that Art the Clown faces off against. Not in the first Terrifier movie. If you really look at that movie, there is no quote-unquote final girl. No one actually truly makes it. I mean, one of them makes it, but she's horrifically scarred and even becomes a partner with Art the Clown in future films. The final girl that we thought was going to be the final girl has the upper hand against Art the Clown in one moment, and then completely shifts the power dynamic in the next, with Art the Clown literally pulling out a gun and shooting her, which is something you would never see a horror movie slasher do. It was completely shocking, and it came out of nowhere, and in some way my sick little brain actually kind of laughed at this scene because it was out of nowhere, and it just showed how unpredictable this character is, and that any moment he can just shift the power dynamic in these situations. The violence only intensifies how much of a scary character he is. I'd much rather be killed by Chucky, Jason, Michael, any of these other characters, because at least they're going to be quick. They have a kill count to have by the end of these films after all, so they don't want to linger on a peasant like myself. And they have to rack up their kill count. Art the Clown takes glee in literally killing all of his victims.
Get away from me! Leave me alone! You fucking maniac! Leave me alone! Stop it!
He spends probably like 20 minutes per victim just to get a sick sense of pleasure out of torturing each one of them. That might even be why he's called Art the Clown, is because he is an artist with how he kills everybody. And it's some sick, vile stuff, man. I mean, I can't show all the stuff he does, but it really does add to the very unsettling nature to the character and really makes you feel terrified of him, because when he pops up and a character either pisses him off or he catches notice of somebody, you are praying to God he doesn't get his hands on them. Three of the most brutal kills in the series by far is obviously the hacksaw scene, which is what made the first movie the iconic moment. They also have the bedroom scene from Terrifier 2, which was absolutely horrific as well. And the third movie was definitely the chainsaw scene, where you see genital slashing with a chainsaw, which I never thought I would ever see in a film and to this degree. Also, the other thing that makes Art the Clown such a great slasher is not just the fact that he's unpredictable and he is in fact terrifying. It's also the fact that he is in fact a sick, demented clown. And what I mean by that is that in some of these moments, he has a very dark sense of humor. From moments in the first film where you see him honking the horn at someone to lighten up the mood while he's literally torturing this lady, or even grabbing a tricycle out of nowhere and just riding it around her just because he can. Or even moments in the second film where he has moments where he kind of just makes some facial expressions that are in fact very comedic.
Sir, if you're gonna put that in your mouth, you gotta pay for it.
Even the third film lays more into the humor of his clownish character, with him washing dishes after he slashes everybody, or even using the urinal and washing his hands before slashing the next person. He has a sick sense of humor, and it does in fact work because he is a clown and they don't lean into it too much. That makes him very non-frightening, but they don't necessarily refuse to use some of those elements, because then he would just not be a clown. Those are the reasons as to why I think Art the Clown is the most terrifying terrifier slasher of all time. And this is so far, and I cannot wait to see what they do with him in the future with Terrifier 4. I hope that the origin of Art doesn't take away from the scary nature of the character, but we will have to see. And I really wanted to make this video because I do have a weird obsession with these films. Now you can call me sick and depraved all you want for rewatching these, because it is some sick stuff, and I understand that this is not going to be for everybody. But I will say that the character itself is probably the most awesome slasher that we've had in a while. And happy Halloween to everybody out there, and let me know as well what your favorite Halloween films are.